All right, this board helped me try to get into downwinding. It helped with the winging as well. Para-winging when there was very little wind, which was awesome. And I'm at Lake Garda at the moment, one of the windiest places I know, but for the whole next week there's supposed to be no wind, or almost barely any wind. So I got in contact with Dominic and Andrea, and they hooked me up with a foil drive. So I'm really excited. I heard it's not as simple as one might think. So as there's no wind, it's flat water, I'm gonna do some pumping eventually, but I also want to get this foil drive a try. So thank you very much, Andrea, for lending me his. I drove pretty far today to get it, but he is well waited for over an hour from me. So let's see what we got here. And like here we have the motor, I think. Yeah, this is the motor. Charger. All right, let's see what happens. All right, I'm gonna need the help of Paul here. Let's get Paul here.
Hi guys, Paul from Foil Drive here. Wow. So this video today is going to be sort of like a really short and to the point unboxing, combined with how to actually put the gear together.
Okay, this is probably the main housing here. Those are obviously not the right bolts. These are small. Oh, well done. So these are M6 bolts, and my mast has holes ready for M8, so I'd rather take the M8 as well. All right, looks like I have to take a break because my daughter's hungry. All right, those are the good ones. All right, that's that. Then we have this foam here for my carbon board. Good. All right, then let's try again. And the mast. And now the right screws. Oh man. All right. Oh wow, this went far back. Not only when you install your foil drive, but also just installing your mast. If you work with a tool like this, do you always hit your mast here? Does that happen to you as well? If yes, tell me so in the comments, because it's a pain. That's why I usually use my electric screwdriver. All right, let's put it towards the front again. Yes, yes, I have it. Finally, let's make some more scratches in the mast. All right, sleeves out of the pod. Which pod though? Probably depends on the mast. Probably not this one, probably not that one either. What is better, having a one that is too big or one that is too small? Ha! Good question. All right, I'm not sure how I should do that.
There is a plastic bag with a small plastic we call keys. You can see there are different numbers. You have to play with them inside. You'll find the right one.
All right, good, 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 good. Good, thank you very much, man. This is like dream support. Those are the keys. Now, that's difficult. Ah, I have to take that out anyway. Paul, what other screws do we need here? Battery here. And super crucial, more of this battery grease. All right, good. I'm excited again. Okay, wow. Okay, this is on. All right, that's how you get into foil drive. Let's get out on the water. Holy shit. I put my Barracuda XL on, a pretty big front wing I usually use for pumping. And you see the whole setup is 16 kilo more or less, so pretty heavy, but once in the water, it was just what it was. The Barracuda XL paired with the Condor M stab, usually a great setup for pump foiling. So I thought, well, that's gonna be great for the foil drive as well. I took the biggest board and it made a lot of sense in hindsight. I didn't watch any how-to videos, which was a mistake. I should have really studied it a little bit. Once you pull that trigger, you accelerate very quickly and you feel the lift of the foil, which is great. So that's really amazing. As I was on a big board, I thought I'd stand up to give it my first try. And as soon as you pull that trigger, and it's a very fine movement, so it's really hard to find that sweet spot, because as soon as you pull that trigger, it wants to rise, it lifts. And I immediately wanted to start pumping, which I didn't manage to do, obviously, and turn around. And you can see if you're standing up, and you pull that trigger, you have to lean forward a lot. So you can see here, the board wants to rise and you have to push that nose down. And as soon as the propeller gets out of the water, obviously the thrust stops and it wants to go down again. So feeling how high you are on foil is even more important, I think, than when pump foiling. Also, what's super difficult is letting the trigger go just a little bit because you feel like you're too fast and then it's too much and you stop. So yeah, that was the first learning, to really try to feel that trigger, stand forward and not lean forward when getting out of the range of the propellers. So that was quite difficult. Also, the balance, still amazing, because as soon as you're on a foil, obviously the board wants to do something. Now, that's how it looks on the board, not on the drone shot. And it was even more difficult because I didn't have a lot of balance, a lot of possibility, because I'm holding the selfie stick in one hand, the trigger in the other hand. And only afterwards I saw what my biggest problem was. Because if you see it right now, my left foot is forward. And when I pump foil, I have a goofy stance, so my right foot is forward. So I wanted to pump here, but I don't know the movement really. I cannot pump on regular stance, so that was one of the biggest mistakes. But I only saw that a couple of hours later when I watched the video. Sometimes I was able to keep on going even if I came down, so you can like pull the trigger and already have the propeller spin. So when you come down, you don't brake immediately, but it accelerates a little more. Obviously, you have to stand towards the front again, so that's quite difficult. But here, actually, for the regular stance, it was quite cool being able to pump on regular stance, whereas usually I'm goofy. So that's a big pro. It was hard for me to feel how high on foil I am, because I always thought that as soon as the propeller leaves the water, I'm high enough, but obviously that's the lowest you should go. So I don't want to show you just the best images. I also don't want to show you all the fails that I have. So it's something in between. Of course, with the big board, super easy, a lot of stability, also in the pitch axis, so it's really cool. If you hit the water with the nose, then you're not immediately gonna fall, not with the smaller board that I did later on. So I highly recommend using a big, long board, like the downwind board from Indiana that I use right here. And of course, it looks kind of stupid. And you fall a lot, but I think that is okay. So it's, I think, harder than going with a wing, and you fall a lot more because you have nothing to hold on to. And that trigger, if you want to squeeze it because you want to hold it tight, then you accelerate and that changes the whole setup. So it's really difficult to be super precise with the trigger, but also with the stance. So that coordination also needs some getting used to. So I fell in quite a lot, and that's just what it is. I mean, that's my honest review. Here, a few more just ways to get off the board. Now, you don't need to worry because as soon as you fall and the remote is underwater, then you lose connectivity. So the board won't even just drive too far away if you keep on pressing the trigger. Now, just a short recap, what I suggest you should do. First, go on your belly, take a longboard, go on your belly, then get up on your knees, try to move forward, backwards while being on your knees. As soon as you have a little speed, try to stand up and stay on foil. Don't go too high too quickly. And if you have that stability and you feel like, all right, I'm in control, then go up and try to glide down a little bit.
All right, that was the first session. Looks pretty dumb, doesn't it? Usually, I'm not a fan of motors. Really, I'm not. But I like to learn new things, like this photo drive. This is not an ad. I'm not paid by photo drive. I just want to learn new things. So, Dominic and Andrea, thank you very much, guys, for sending me this photo drive for me to try. And as you've seen, it's not as simple. That was my first session on the big board. Make sure to subscribe because in the next episodes, I'm gonna put the fall drive on a smaller board, a 75-liter board. I'm even gonna put it on a pump foil board, so 12-liter-ish. See if I can get it up, get it on a foil. And yeah, some things that didn't go as planned. Maybe even a little downwinder later on. So stay tuned, subscribe, like it if you like that, and if you have any questions, hit me up. If you have a different setup or something you think I should try while I have that unit, write them down in the comments or send me a DM. We'll be super happy to hear from you. Thank you very much, guys. See you in the next one. Cheers.